Yep, I was muted. Hey, everybody. I wish somebody would tell me that they couldn't hear anything. All right. Now you can hear things, and you can hear things on TikTok, obviously. It was just YouTube that was having the issues. Hey, Beto's here. We'll talk about some NFL updates. Where do you think Shedeur Sanders goes? Apparently, the news I'm going to read here says that he was with the Giants today, showing them what he's got. So maybe they do end up picking him up, but I would be a little surprised. But let's see, what is this? Abdul Carter, Cam Ward. What is this? This is the draft prospect rankings. Okay. That's not the draft order. But yeah, Shedeur Sanders was working out in front of the Giants today. Let's just go through some of this. Shedeur Sanders holding one last private workout for Giants I'm sorry, I said today, on Thursday. So not even tomorrow, 2 days from now, he has a private workout for the Giants. So do the Giants pick him up? Now, everybody was saying that probably the Giants are, picking Abdul Carter at this point, but looks like, if they're thinking what I'm thinking about Shedeur Sanders, they may pick up. Hey, thanks, Beto, for the lightning bolts. Eli hits bombs. He's going to Canada. Shedeur Sanders. Wow. Cam Ward first pick. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a given that Cam Ward is the first pick. Every mock draft is saying that, so I'm gonna agree with that. Now, the Giants have the third pick, and it's believed that Cleveland. Well, a lot of people are saying, Cleveland takes Travis Hunter, but I don't know if you saw the news that Travis Hunter said that if he can't play both positions, he doesn't want to play football. So maybe he's going. What's up, bro? Tommy, Chalice, Zem Button. How y'all doing? Thanks for joining the live stream tonight, guys. Shedeur would be nice in NOLA, yes, especially with Derek Carr injured or whatever that injury is that just sort of came out of nowhere. So yeah, I think Shedeur would be good in New Orleans. He'd probably do very well there. They have good weapons. Now, let's go back real quick. We've been talking about Shedeur. Let's go back to the play-in game because we have all these things going on, and I want to keep everybody's attention as best as I can, although a lot of people dropped off. The Magic are leading the Hawks 68-57 now. It is 7:24 left in the third, so they have an 11-point lead. In less than an hour, the Warriors play the Grizzlies. My Blues are playing, but I believe that they're in intermission, first intermission. They're up 4-0 against the Utah Hockey Club, and if they win there, they make the playoffs, and so that's why I'm all paying attention to that. What's up, Tommy, Zem, Button, if you're still around? What's going on? Who do you think gets Shedeur Sanders? The Giants do need a new quarterback, but they've signed everybody, Eli. Eli hits bombs. They've signed 2 other quarterbacks. Now, those aren't long-term solutions, but they could, they're short-term at least, in a dilemma. Warriors versus Grizzlies. Winner plays my Rockets. I would think that you would want to go with the Grizzlies because they're towards the end of the season. The Warriors with Jimmy Butler were doing really well toward Jimmy Buckets, as everybody calls him. Paige, Becker? They got to call her Paige Buckets, right? I mean, that's a no-brainer too. But Jimmy Buckets was putting it on. I mean, he lit a fire underneath the Warriors. They've kind of cooled off, but I would think you'd want the Grizzlies because I think the Warriors are tougher to play against. I think that they'll do very well. So, Eli hits bombs. Thank you for that, Eli. Don't forget, everybody, I do have a fantasy football book out there. It's a great book. My buddy Beto, who's on TikTok right now, he has a little quote on the back of the book. He's bought it. He loves it. And I thank him for that. Let's see, Curry and Let's Effing Go. That's the new name of the book. I changed the name from Dominating Your League to Let's Effing Go. Rule your league in fantasy football. Curry and Butler will make a run. Yeah, I believe that to be the case. Eli hits bombs. I believe that to be the case. Now, let's see. we're still at intermission with my Blues. This game, the play-in between the Magic and Hawks. Magic have an 11-point lead. Let's go back to news. Jalen Ramsey, Dolphins exploring trade options. Apparently, Jalen Ramsey apparently he's not doing great, and the Miami doesn't want him around. Jacoby Myers for the Raiders. Yes, I will get you a signed copy. I need to order those with the new title, and I'll order them because they have to come from Amazon. I'll sign them and then I'll mail them to you. So, Cortland Sutton working on an extension, which is actually kind of good news for Mims because Mims, put up some 100-point games late in the season. Gray, all right, Gray, where you got Derek Tingle going in the draft? Well, let's see. Let's look up. What was I looking at here? Okay. We're like 12 days away? Derek Tingle. Tyreek Hill back to Kansas City, maybe? Yeah, I'm thinking that. NFL on CBS. Derek Stingley? Derek Tingle. I'm just looking for his name. Tyreek Hill back. Am I spelling it right? Derek and... All right, so what are we getting wrong here? I'm putting something in wrong. Robinson, varsity, Philadelphia Eagles rookie. Derek Henry. Wow. Let me look this up here. Scouting reports. NFL. Well, I'm going to have to get back to you on this. I know that he wasn't one of my top names, so I'm kind of looking at what other folks are saying about him. What is this? Is this from this year? Tyler Warren, that's right. Yeah, I don't have him. I don't have him listed. So, I mean, I only really went through the first round. So, Gray, I don't know. I don't recognize the name, so I had to look it up, but I'm not really seeing anything here. You sure you're spelling the last name right? Because I really only put together like a first round. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time on mock drafts because I'm going to be as wrong as Kuiper is. He gets it right about 20% of the time. So sorry about that, Gray. All right. Cortland Sutton hoping to get a extension. Here's something kind of interesting. Caleb Johnson, the running back from Iowa, met with the Bears. Or he's meeting with the Bears this week. Do I have a day? I don't have a day. The Bears also recently hosted former North Carolina running back Omarion Hampton, who I think is the clear number 2. He's a big guy too. So, but Caleb Johnson should be good too. I think Hampton might be better than Genty based on his speed and his size. Yeah. He's meeting with the Bears this week. I don't know if he met with him already. Micah Parsons attends Cowboys voluntary offseason workouts. All right, so he's playing the game. Abdul Carter met with the Patriots yesterday. Let's just look at these playing games, see where we're at. All right. Well, the Hawks have decreased the Magic's lead to 8. It's 70-62 in the playing game. In about 45 minutes, the Warriors take on the Grizzlies. And then I'm just going to check and see if they start. Yep, my Blues have started. There's 19 minutes left, or 19 minutes left in the second. So a long way in the second period. They're up 4-0 though. If they win, they're definitely in the playoffs. They have lost 3 games in a row before this, and then before that they had 12. They had won 12 in a row. So, all right. Let's see. Any other NFL? Anything you guys want to talk? I might have got that wrong. Yeah, that's fine. No problem, Gray. If you think of it, let me know. Because I didn't recognize the name and I was searching the name and I'm like, I'm not seeing it anywhere. Because obviously, like I said, I really only go through the first round. I don't spend a lot of time mocking up every round of a draft. It's a lot of time. I don't know that I have all that kind of time. And it's a lot more fun to just pick, sort of the top names and all that kind of stuff. And I know that in the 20s, you're probably going to see some wide receivers. You're going to see some quarterbacks. I'm hearing all different kinds of names. Let's see what else they say about. There was, let's see. The Eagles signed wide receiver Terrace Marshall to a 1-year contract. So let's see. I'm just going with fantasy players. The Bears signed Miles Boykin to a 1-year contract wide receiver. The Bears signed Sean Wade to a 1-year contract, but he's secondary. It's not that big of a deal. Ted McMillan visiting the Patriots, Saints, and Cowboys. He is a highly touted wide receiver, probably one of the tops. They signed him for 2 years. Okay. Wow. Last season. Okay, Miles Boykin for a year, Terrace Marshall to a 1-year. I have both. I have Marshall and Boykin rather, no S at the end, for 1 year in my information. So whatever. Unless it's somebody else I was talking about here. Micah no. Omarion Hampton, no, it wouldn't be him. Okay. Dak Prescott on Sunday said that if he had to, he could be able to play today. So that would be interesting. I also heard, did you guys hear the same kind of rumors that Dak might be being traded? That sounds a little bit crazy, right? Did I close? Oh no. Am I off YouTube now? I think I got out of my channel. That is really weird. There's StreamYard. What happened? I think I did. All right. Yeah. Oh, no, it's right there. Okay. It's at the wrong. All right. Okay, so Zem, how you doing, buddy? You still around? Let me give you an update on all of these. I'm all over the place. All right. Well, the Hawks now are just down by 4 points. It's 70-66. Boy, I'm telling you, the NBA sometimes is the weirdest game ever because a team will have a big lead and then towards the end of the game it'll be like 2 points and you think they're going to blow them out, but they somehow come back. But the Magic lead 70-66 with 3:20 left in the third, and in about 41 minutes the Warriors take on the Grizzlies. I'm predicting the Warriors to win. Tomorrow night there's 2 more play-in games. The play-in games are kind of like, if you think about the play-in games, sometimes when you have a small amount of playoff games, like a play-in game kind of thing, it's almost like you wish your team, if they lose, you almost wish they didn't make the playoffs because you get your hopes up and then they lose and then it's like, I don't have anybody to root for anymore. It all ends right there. Lakers versus Celtics should be a fun finals. Yeah, I can totally see that happening. The one thing I'll say is because Luka plays with LeBron, like you don't hear about OKC at all anymore. And they've had a great season. It's just a question of can they hold up when the stress and the pressure is that high? That's the one worry I have about them. Can they really hold up? But we'll see. I'm kind of hoping for a Lakers Celtic finals. I mean, I'm a kid of the 80s, so I remember all of those games. That was a lot of Lakers Celtics. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot, and it'll be a lot of fun because those, they're rivals, and there's old rivalries, and you'll hear from Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and they'll bring back Kareem, and they'll talk about all the games that they had, at the Boston Garden, and the old Great Western Forum in LA. So it'll be fun. That would be fun. That would be OKC and the Celtics. Not so much fun. Hey, Nathaniel Sampson's here. Hey, Nathaniel, how are you? I think Cleveland and the Lakers, there will that might be a little bit better than OKC versus the Celtics because you have the LeBron connection with Cleveland. I'm at the Yankees game. Wow. You have 4 baseballs? Holy cow. You got 4 baseballs, huh? You are rocking out, man. That's awesome. All right. So let's check up on these games. Right now, Magic up by 3, 71-68 with 2:41 left in the third. Let's check some other scores. My Blues are up 4-0 in the second with 15:37, so that's good. I guess I should check other hockey scores, huh? Because I'm being all one-sided. Where are we? The Ducks and the Wild are tied at 1. The Lightning lead the Panthers 4-1. Blues up 4-0. Blue Jackets up 2-0 over the Flyers. Maple Leafs 1-0 over the Sabres, and the Golden Knights are beating the Flames 1-0. All right, all eyes. Let's see, eyes on the playoff races. Jets forward and Sharks captain. Maple Leafs Ekman ready for round 1. Judge keeps charge to Chuck. Expected back for start of playoffs. Well, that's good news. But my Blues are still up. That's good. I got the Nuggets again. Oh, you got the Nuggets in like a pool to win the NBA? I don't know if that's going to happen this year. I don't know. That's going to be tough. Jokic is going to have to lead his team. I mean, there's a lot of competition out in the West. And in the East, it's kind of like just the Celtics and the Cavaliers. But like in the West, I would say that the Warriors, the Lakers, OKC, and Houston, could have some potential there, to go all the way. It's solid teams out in the West. I mean, and you hear about the Warriors and the Lakers a lot. You hear about OKC. You don't hear as much about Houston, but they have just as good a chance as anybody. So it's kind of like the run you get on, can you just get some momentum and make that push you forward? So playing game. What do we have? A timeout here? Is that it? It's 2:30 left. It's 71-68 in the third. Magic over the Hawks. And in 37 minutes, the Warriors take on the Grizzlies. Rockets have a tough young squad, a good head coach, sleeper. Yeah, I really do think they're a sleeper team, Beto. I really think the Rockets have a good team. They could surprise a bunch of people. I know that everyone's sort of just checking the box on the Lakers, and I get it, okay, because they probably want to see the Lakers in the finals, but the Rockets could spoil some teams. And yeah, I don't know. I do feel like OKC is just not getting any love because of the LeBron and Luka, and the Warriors getting Jimmy Butler. I just think that has pushed them down to number 3 talking point in basketball right now. So, all right. So what is going on? Where do you guys all think Shedeur goes to? New Orleans? Do you think that, he's going to visit the Giants on Thursday? You think that's going to pan out? What do you think about the refs and their potential impact on games? Well, I mean, that's everything. I mean, the refs are everything. The NBA refs, if there's a way to computerize that like they do with balls and strikes, in baseball, or they can do that in baseball, it would be phenomenal. There's a lot of games that they don't call the same thing all the time. And, the NBA refs, of all the officials in major sports, I kind of think that the NBA refs are the ones that we trust the least. So there's always going to be issues with that. Part of being a basketball player and being a head coach is complaining about the refs. Yeah, the Blues are destroying them, Nathaniel. You're right. So there's backlash because the players, the head coaches, even when my son years ago was on like a select team in basketball, and I mean, this is I don't know, he was like in fourth grade or something, and his coach was just going off on the officials, and I'm like, this isn't really setting a good example for the kids because they still haven't played that great. Like you could say that the refs missed a call here or there, but a lot of the times it kind of goes both ways. Now, sometimes it doesn't. I totally get that. And we heard about it this year with the Chiefs, although, as we all know, the Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl, so the fix wasn't in. Um, right now, the Magic lead the Hawks, just interrupting myself here, 73-68 with 143 in the third left. But so there was a little bit of that in the NFL, but with Donaghy and all that stuff, what like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, about calling the games not right. There was a lot of that. Rockets won't be able to breathe on Curry. Yeah, they won't be able to. They're not going to be able to do any of that kind of stuff. So it's going to be, you know, that's the thing when you go with superstars after a while. When you have a superstar on your team, rather, you're going to get a lot of the calls in the NBA because, they're, I mean, when I was living in Los Angeles and following the Lakers had played Sacramento, I believe. I don't think it was the Trailblazers. I think it was Sacramento in like a game 7 in the Western Conference Finals. The Lakers were down by a ton. They came back to win, obviously win the series, and then eventually win the championship. And there was a lot of calls that game was fixed. There was a lot of calls that game was fixed, and because the Lakers are so out of it, and they came back, and everything was going their way. There probably is subconsciously some of that going on with some of the refs, but as I guess with the Chiefs, they talked to a lot of refs and things like that, retired refs, and said the game NFL goes by so fast. You can't think, oh, I want to make a good call for the Chiefs. You're just trying to get a call. You're trying to make a call. And I tend to agree with that. I haven't reffed in a long time, but even reffing, like, I don't know, 13-year-old, 12-year-old boys, sometimes if you have two decent teams or good teams, it can get a little sticky in there, as far as calling the games. So I totally understand that. I'm not saying that like calling a 12-year-old boys game is the same as calling an NBA game. I'm not saying it's the same speed, but I'm saying even at that slower of a pace, I'm glitching now, aren't I? Go to live studio, disconnect it. Great. Well, I'm glitching on the internet. That's always great. I love TikTok. I love the internet so much when I glitch. So, all I'm saying is I'm not comparing the NBA to like 12-year-old boys playing basketball, but it is difficult to get those calls right, to have, because you got to make that call not in a second, in like a nanosecond. And yeah, I mean, and sometimes you're anticipating it. I think sometimes that's what it is too. I think that's what it is in football a lot. They're anticipating contact, and so they're calling it. Or they saw someone move a weird way, and they're assuming someone got fouled or there was a penalty. And I'm talking about football and basketball here. So I get it. I do get it. Okay, the Magic up by 6, 79-73. It is the end of the third. Let's see here. Oh, the Blues now, it's 4-1 against Utah. Utah did score. There's 10:39 left in the second, so they're about halfway through the game. The Blues up 4-1. That's a big game for me because if they win, they're in the playoffs. Let's see. Any other news about NFL that we want to talk about here? Anything else? Shador, I think someone had said earlier, sounds like it's good if he goes to New Orleans. Totally get it. Jacoby Myers, hoping or looking into an extension with the Raiders. Cortland Sutton, same thing with the Broncos, which I think if you re-sign Cortland Sutton, it really helps Mims because he did have at least 2 100 games towards the end of last season. Caleb Johnson is meeting with the Bears, as well as Omarion Hampton is meeting with the Bears. So that's good news if you're a Bears fan, because they didn't have much of a run game last year. There's no doubt. I mean, the first couple weeks of the season they did, but after that, he just trailed off. The Patriots had Abdul Carter visit. Let's see. Carter has already met with the Titans, Browns, and Giants. Mm, Ted McMillan is visiting the Patriots, Saints, and Cowboys. I think he's going to be, if he's not the top wide receiver, he should be the top wide receiver in the draft. What else? Anything else? I'm a couple, not a lot of news in the NFL right now. Not a lot of news. Yeah, Derek Carr dealing with that shoulder injury, and that's why I think Shedeur will go to New Orleans. But the only question is, if the Giants work him out this week, will he go at number 3? Will he be around for New Orleans? Now, the other thing about it is maybe the Giants are working him out to make it look like they want him, so that New Orleans trades up and they get a bunch of picks. I mean, right now you got to think that not everything is what it seems to be. There's going to be a lot of strategy. There's going to be a lot of outthinking your opponents, and maybe Shedeur is just sort of a chip in all of this, and not, he's just being leveraged, and it's not real. So, all right, guys, I am going to sign off. I'll be back on at 9:00 Eastern, 8:00 Central tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Just keep watching those playing games. Pretty exciting. So looking forward to the draft. I will be going live. I plan to go live during the entire draft, but we'll see how that goes. Like with my day job and all that kind of stuff, but that will be a lot of fun. All right. Thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow.